straight right into it. One of the reasons why Dota doesn't really get this connotation is the fact that it's just kinda new. I specified the word kinda because Dota 2 came out in 2013. Technically, it was playable in 2011. Kinda new is relative. But in the grand scheme of Valve games, it's definitely on the newer side. On top of that, it also has a pre-existing player base before Valve made Dota 2. Because like I stated before, Dota 2 wasn't always Dota 2. There was no such thing as a Dota 1, but the original Dota was a mod for Warcraft 3. And a lot of old school players, myself included, are among those players. We played the game back when it was still a mod for Warcraft. And when the news broke that there was going to be an official sequel, a lot of players moved over to that with no allegiance to Valve in any specific way. So quite a good amount of players are veterans, players who've been around since the old days. People like me, whose thighs kind of hurt when I stand up from my chair too quick. People who get excited whenever they get a new sponge to use to wash the dishes. So being a new game is one thing, and having a pre-existing player base is another. Dota 2 is also distinctly different from the other Valve games in one very obvious way. It's not an FPS game. Almost, keyword almost, I'm looking at you, Alien Swarm. Almost every other Valve game is an FPS, all the major ones at least. And Dota 2 is the only non-major Valve game that isn't a first-person shooter, or a shooter in general. And that kind of brings in another topic, the fact that FPS games are inherently accessible. FPS games have been a cornerstone of the gaming world for a long time, and especially nowadays, they are more mainstream than ever before. So the mere fact that Valve games are FPSs means that they're a lot more easy to pick up and play and understand for most gamers. It does help that most Valve games, well, specifically Half-Life, kinda standardized what FPSs have become today. So the fact that most other Valve games are FPSs and Dota 2 is an RTS, or at least a top-down real-time strategy game, means that there's quite a big blockage of accessibility for more casual gamers to get into the game. But being top-down isn't the only thing that really stops a game from becoming accessible. After all, there have been a lot of popular top-down games in the past, but I guess it's more so to do with the fact that Dota is the odd one out of all of Valve's major games. First-person shooter, first-person shooter, first-person shooter, top-down. It's different. It's obvious to see. Dota is also a nerds game. What do I mean by that? Well, let's put it this way. In Counter-Strike, you can outthink your opponent. Most of the time, it's mostly to do with balancing the money economy or just good old-fashioned Twitch reflexes. But the option to outthink and outstrategize your opponent is there. In Dota, that's kinda all you can really do. Game knowledge really does carry you in Dota. And by that I mean knowing the ins and outs of every character, of every item, of every interaction within the map is critical for you to win the game. I'm gonna show you